Beyond the sands of the Sahara, while ancient Egypt was fading, a new power was rising. This is the story of West Africa, of kings, gold, memory, and a boy who rose from exile to build an empire. Welcome to the Africa Echoes, the channel that brings the story of Africa back to life.
The desert has a way of hiding secrets. From above, the Sahara looks empty, endless, lifeless. But for centuries, beneath its burning sun and shifting sands, paths were carved by footsteps, hooves, and memory. Caravans crossed it like veins, carrying salt, gold, stories, and faith. And on the far side of that vast desert, while Egypt's ancient sun was fading, a new light was beginning to glow. West Africa was waking up. Long before Europeans would later call it unknown, this land already knew itself. It knew kingship, trade, law, music, and belief. It knew how to remember. History here was not written in stone alone. It was carried in voices, passed from father to son, mother to daughter, through griots, living libraries whose words could resurrect centuries with a single song. And at the center of this rising world, fate was preparing a child who would change everything. His name was Sundiata Keita. But before Sundiata, there was a kingdom. The land was called Mande, rich and fertile, threaded by rivers and forests. Its people were farmers, hunters, traders, ironworkers. They believed the world was alive, that spirits lived in trees, rivers, animals, and ancestors. Kings ruled, but they ruled alongside tradition, elders, and unseen forces older than memory. The greatest of these kingdoms was Kangaba, ruled by the Keita family. Its king, Magan Kon Fata, was powerful, respected, feared. But his greatest story would not be told through war or wealth. It would be told through a prophecy. One day, hunters arrived at his court with a strange message. They spoke of a woman, not beautiful, not noble, not impressive by the standards of kings, but destined to give birth to a ruler greater than any before. The king hesitated. The woman was mocked. She was called ugly, weak, unworthy. Her name was Sogolon. But destiny does not care about appearances. Magan Kon Fata married her, and from that union a child was born, Sundiata. From the moment he arrived, something felt different. He did not walk. Years passed. Other children ran through the village, hunted birds, climbed trees. Sundiata crawled. Whispers followed him. Some pitied him, others mocked him. Rivals smiled quietly, believing the prophecy had failed. Even his mother suffered humiliation. She was laughed at, insulted, blamed. But she believed. Mothers often do. Then one day, pushed too far by ridicule, something inside Sundiata shifted. He asked for an iron rod. With effort, pain, and tears, he pulled himself up. The iron bent, the earth trembled, and Sundiata stood. Not only did he walk, he grew strong, stronger than the others. His weakness became his legend. His silence became patience. His suffering became preparation. But destiny is never a straight road. When Magan Kon Fata died, the throne did not go to Sundiata. Of course, court politics are cruel. Another woman, jealous and ambitious, placed her son on the throne. His name was Dankaran Tuman, and to secure his rule, he did what frightened rulers often do: banish the threat. Sundiata and his mother were exiled. They wandered, through forests, through foreign courts, through hunger and humiliation. But exile became Sundiata's greatest teacher. He learned how different peoples lived, how different kings ruled, how alliances were built, how armies were formed, how power truly worked. Meanwhile, back home, darkness fell. A new force rose in Mande, a king not born to rule it. His name was Sumaoro Kante.
He was a sorcerer king, feared for both his military power and his rumored magic. He conquered Kangaba, crushed its people, desecrated sacred traditions. He ruled with terror, collecting the skins of enemies, breaking ancient laws, silencing griots. Mande cried out, and in exile, Sundiata listened. The time had come. Sundiata returned not as a boy, but as a leader. He gathered allies from across the region, kings, warriors, hunters, former enemies. They followed him not because he promised gold, but because he promised order, justice, and freedom from fear. The final battle came at Kirina. It was not just a fight of armies, it was a clash of worlds. Sumauro relied on terror and mysticism. Sundiata relied on unity, strategy, and belief. When the dust settled, Sumauro fell. Some say he vanished into the mountains, others say he died, but his power was broken. And Sundiata Keita became Mansa, emperor. Thus was born the Mali Empire. From a scattered land, Sundiata forged a state bound by law. He established the Kurukanga Fuga Charter, one of the world's earliest known declarations of rights. It protected women, families, land, and life. It balanced power between clans. It valued speech, memory, and peace. Mali grew vast. Gold flowed from its mines. Salt crossed the desert. Cities rose: Niani, Timbuktu, Gao. Islam blended with tradition. Mosques stood beside ancestral shrines. Knowledge traveled with traders, and the world began to notice. But Mali's greatest legend was yet to come. Generations later, another ruler ascended the throne. His name was Mansa Musa. If Sundiata built Mali, Mansa Musa stunned the world with it. His wealth was beyond imagination. Gold flowed through his hands like water. When he set out on pilgrimage to Mecca, he did not travel quietly. He crossed the Sahara with tens of thousands of followers, camels laden with gold. In Cairo, his generosity flooded markets. Gold lost value. Economies shook. Scholars, architects, and artists followed him back to Mali. Timbuktu became a beacon. Universities flourished, libraries filled with manuscripts. Students came from across Africa and beyond. While Europe stumbled through the Middle Ages, West Africa debated astronomy, law, medicine, and philosophy. This was not a hidden civilization, it was a global power. But as always, nothing eternal stays unchanged. After Mansa Musa, Mali slowly weakened. Internal struggles, external pressure, provinces broke away. From Mali's shadow rose another empire, Songhai. Under rulers like Sunni Ali and Askia Muhammad, Songhai became the largest empire Africa had ever known. Its cavalry thundered across the Sahel. Its administration was sophisticated, its scholars renowned. But storms were gathering again. Foreign weapons, internal division, the Moroccan invasion armed with guns. Songhai fell. But even in collapse, West Africa did not fall silent.
If you love this video, like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more powerful African stories told this way. Because Africa's story is far from over.